Hi, I'm Giovanni, a full-time engineer who wants to share the adventures he has on weekends and on vacation.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I know I'm a bit late to the party, but here is all the gear I'll be using for the 2025-2026 season. I'm not a professional skier, so I don't replace my entire setup every year, but I did make a few thoughtful upgrades, and I'm hoping this year's video turns out a lot better than last year's. For reference, I am 182 cm tall, weigh 80 kilos, a bit more than last year, and I'll start with the skis going from the narrowest to the widest. The first pair of skis I'm talking about is the 1000 skis Parka. They are 186 cm long and I mounted them with marker Jester 16s. I originally bought these mostly to support the brand. I think they are a really cool brand, and to dip my toes into freestyle skiing. While I didn't magically become a park skier, I still have to land my first 360, I ended up liking them more than expected. They are soft, playful, carve surprisingly well, and on easy resort days or groomer laps, they are a really fun ski to be on. The second pair of skis I want to talk about are the Black Rose Atris in 190 cm length, mounted with ATK Freeraider 15 Evo bindings. This is my main touring setup. I started touring on lightweight skis and quickly realized that lightweight doesn't always equal enjoyable. So I switched to a full freeride ski paired with light, fully featured pin bindings. This combo handles almost any touring condition, and I don't mind carrying a little more weight if it means the descent is actually fun. The third pair of skis in my lineup are the Sender Free 110 in 191 cm length with cast Freetour 1.0 bindings, which I modified myself from the Look Pivot 15 that were mounted. These are my main resort freeride skis, and they are heavy in the best possible way. They are stable, damp, and super confidence inspiring in tracked or variable snow. Unfortunately, they have some damage from an early season shark and likely need a replacement soon. Leave in the comments any suggestions for a replacement. The cast system lets me tour straight from the resort and reach terrain I wouldn't otherwise get to. I am not very fond of the cast 1.0 and I would look for some other option in the future. The last pair are the Black Rose Nocta in 190 cm length, mounted with marker Duke PT 16s. These are my pure fun skis. They are playful, maneuverable, and perfect for mellow powder days, especially when avalanche danger is higher and I'm sticking to safer terrain. The Duke PT lets me tour with them, which makes finding fresh snow a lot easier. I still prefer the Duke PT over the old cast system on my Senders. For poles, I keep things simple. I use the Black Rose Freebird Duo. They are adjustable, so I can have them longer for the uphill and set them shorter for the descent, which is especially useful on touring days. They are light, solid, and I don't really feel the need to use anything else. For skins, I'm very partial to Pomoca. I use the Pomoca Pro Tour for the Atris and Pomoca Free Pro for all the other skis. They are very simple, reliable, and they've held up well. My boots got a refresh this year. I picked up the new Tecnica Cochise 130 because I was extremely happy with the previous model. I'm still using the same ZipFit GFT liners, which now have over 100 days on them, and still fit incredibly well. They lock my feet in better than anything else I've tried, and my only complaint hasn't changed. I had to replace the laces fairly quickly. Now I want to talk about my clothes. Here's the system I use to stay warm, dry, and comfortable in pretty much any condition. I switch between two base layer systems depending on temperature, the Patagonia Capilene Midweight and the Smartwool Classic Thermal Merino. Both have matching bottoms, But Smartwool's 3/4 bottom are especially nice because they sit on top of the ski boot, so nothing bunches or creates pressure points. If I wear full-length bottoms, I always pull them up above the boots. Socks. I mostly use Smartwool Ski Zero Cushion, plus a few other thin pairs. I prefer minimal cushioning so my foot stays locked in place. All my mid layers are Patagonia fleeces with hoods and full zippers, which helps a lot with temperature control. Depending on the conditions, R1 hair hoodie for maximum breathability, R1 tech face hoodie for a bit more wind protection, R2 tech face hoodie, which is a bit warmer but still breathable, and the Nano-Air light hybrid hoodie, the warmest before adding a puffy. On really cold lift days, I add the Patagonia R1 daily bottoms under the shell pants, which make a huge difference in lower body warmth. My main puffy is the Patagonia DAS Hoodie, which is the one I take when I can only bring a single puffy jacket. And for the coldest days of the season, I use the Patagonia DAS Parka, which goes over my shell or become my jacket for going to dinner on ski trips. My main shell is still the Patagonia PowSlayer jacket and bibs with Gore-Tex Pro. They've needed a few repairs, so I'm considering upgrading to the newer version. When spring arrives and things warm up, I switch to soft shells. I use the Patagonia Upstride jacket with the Patagonia Alpine guide pants. For the uphill, I usually start with an Orona Handy cotton beanie and Julbo Shield sunglasses. For the descent, I switch to the POC Obec MIPS helmet and Julbo launcher goggles. The Julbo photochromic lenses are great because they go from category 4 to 0, so I never need to swap lenses or carry any extras. For skinning up, I use liners from the Heat company. And for skiing down, I use mittens from the Heat company. These are new for this year and great to operate camera gear because they transform into fingerless gloves. I didn't use them for many days yet, but I will report once I have more experience with them. When it comes to backpacks, I rotate between a few depending on the day. My main pack, the one I use the most often, is the Patagonia Snowdrifter 30 liters. It is simple, fits everything I need, and it just works. I still have to see another backpack with a helmet carrier that can match it. If I am filming, I switch to the Shimoda Action X50. That pack is great when I'm carrying extra camera gear because I can get to my drone or my camera easily thanks to the well-integrated core units. And for days when I spend a significant amount of time in avalanche terrain, I use either the Mammut Light Protection 30 liters or the Mammut Pro 45 liters. They've both been super reliable and I pick the size based on how much gear I need to bring. For avalanche safety gear, I use a Mammut Barivox S beacon, a 280 cm Mammut carbon probe, and a Mammut Alligator Hoe shovel. I am thinking about replacing my beacon since it's already 5 years old, and safety is very important to me. What should be my next beacon? Leave it in the comments. I also carry a Garmin InReach Mini in case I need to call rescue, and the BCA Link 2.0 radios, which have been a massive improvement for communication when you don't have line of sight or when the group spreads out. That's the full breakdown of my ski gear setup for the 2025-2026 season. If there is anything you want a deep review of, skis, jackets, boots, bindings, whatever, just let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video.